And you have gone over all the agreement, asked your attorney any questions you need to?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement. Now, there'll be a withhold of adjudication on a lesser included charge of improper display of a firearm with the statutory cite that's contained in here. A withhold of adjudication, 11 months, 29 days probation is the sentence. It'll be under JCS supervision with online reporting. You've got the various costs, cost of supervision, $50, $50 cost of supervision, court costs, public defender fee. Got to forfeit the firearm, gun safety course, continue with treatment, excuse me. You don't have to continue with treatment because the state's already received proof of that, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. There are, as a part of the probation though, you do have to continue to do random UAs and random breath tests and attend one AA meeting a week. Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
The court will let me get organized real quick. The next is gonna be Trudy Grant, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did you get the card?
You're good to go. This is gonna be Miss Trudy Grant before the court. The state and I have tentatively got an agreement in place. I've asked the state to consider reducing the charges to get to that plea agreement. I don't think we're gonna get it done today. If we can continue Miss Grant's case, I do believe we've got depositions scheduled. I'll let the court know specifically. It's gonna be in August, Your Honor.
Okay. When in August?
Before August the 5th.
Okay, so that'll be fine.
Yes, because I did mention it's Grant. Can we do Monday for review? I know Mr. Loskow's position, he didn't want to reduce the charges, but if I can, I told Mr. Grant, if we can resolve it, I'd like to. My issue is I'd like to have the charges reduced based upon the deposition of the victim in the case.
Make sure I follow Mr. Roscoe's. Based on Mr. Loskow's notes, that's not, the state's not in a position to alter the charges at this time.
If we can do August the 5th, Your Honor, and if I get with, or August the 12th, Your Honor, and then I'll speak with the state about that at those depositions.
Okay, if you can get an earlier play, we can try and get it in and
Yes, sir.
miscellaneous.
And just for the record, the state's offer is probation, 3 years probation, batterer's intervention, no violent contact with the victim, and must complete a parenting course.
Yes, Your Honor. And the issue, and as I explained to the state, is the victim in the case is requesting the charges be dropped altogether. There was an additional witness. Ms. Grant has got 0 prior criminal history, and entering a plea as charged is gonna basically put her in a default DOC on any sort of violation. And I really don't wanna put her in that position, given this is her first criminal activity. That's why I was asking the state to consider reducing. Doesn't seem like it's gonna happen right now. I'd rather continue it and then see if we can't get something out of the next deposition.
Very good. Thank you.
Your Honor, next I've got is gonna be Kevin Hatrom.
Okay,
This is Mr. Hatcham before the court at 24 CF 801. If we can leave him for next Monday for a plea continue, he's resolving some issues tomorrow, and we should be able to enter a plea next Monday.
very good. We'll continue this for docket day 6/17, June 17th at 9 a.m. for a plea.
And our next I've got is gonna be Ricky Hawkins.
Is that HOP?
H-A-W-K, Hawk with the bird on it.
This is Mr. Hawkins, Mr. Gates.
Okay,
Your Honor, we had depositions last week. Unfortunately, one of the officers, the primary officer, missed the deposition. He did reach out expressing his, I'll say sorrow for missing it. I did ask him about an amended offer he was okay with doing, but it came late, so I don't think we were gonna get it resolved. Mr. Hawkins has asked if we can continue the case. He's got some personal matters he needs to attend to. I'll reschedule the deposition in the meantime, and we should be close to resolution.
you want to come for a full cycle
Yes,
continuation?
Your Honor.
Okay. We'll continue this until 8/12 at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and this is 23 CF 1234?
Yes, Your Honor.
I just want to make sure I'm got
Yes,
it
Your
right.
Honor. Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, next I've got is Nisa Henderson.
Okay,
Ms. Henderson's going to be approaching in case number 23 CF 2746. This is actually going to be with Ms. Basso. We do have a plea agreement for a plea of charge for PTI. One of the terms in the PTI is the Batterers Intervention Program. Given that it's a child abuse charge, I've asked the state if they would consider taking that portion out of the PTI. If we could bring her back from,
why would the PTI have a batter's intervention program on?
this was the same thing I mentioned to Ms. Sharpless this morning. I had a feeling the court was going to be perplexed as to why that requirement was in there. That's why I
You
want
may
to
not have picked it up if you had,
That's why I want to bring her back from Monday. I anticipate we'll be able to get that resolved by then.
yeah, I mean, if there's a reason, we have to follow the science on this. We don't do these things just to check off a box.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sometimes they're contraindicated in certain circumstances.
Yes, Your
We
Honor.
don't, aren't thoughtful.
On top of that, Ms. Henderson has completed the parenting class as part of the plea agreement, so my hope is, as I said, the state would be willing to take that out and we can do
So
this.
has there been a DCF case?
Yes, sir, but
So-
that case is closed now.
Okay, so was it a voluntary case or was it a court case?
Voluntary,
Okay, that's good that you've completed, shows you showed some initiative and
yes, sir.
hopefully it was, how long was the course?
I want to say 7 months.
7 months? Did you find it helpful? Or,
I did.
okay, good. Okay, well, we want to come back and.
On Monday, if we can, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll continue this to docket day, January 17th at 9 a.m.
June 17th, Your Honor.
June 17th. What did I say, January?
January.
Not that good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, next I've got is going to be Raconda Humphrey. Mr. Humphrey's making his way up in 24 CF 665.
Okay,
If I may approach with the plea agreement, Your Honor.
you may.
Mr. Humphrey will be pleading to a misdemeanor, so there will be no score sheet on this one as well, Your Honor.
Okay. Would you announce the plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Humphrey will be entering a plea no contest to illegal dumping, the misdemeanor, which is actually statute site 403.4136B.
What was the initial illegal dumping, a felony illegal?
Yes, Your Honor.
It just
There's
has to do with value or
weight, actually.
weight?
Three different levels. There's under 15 pounds, which is a citation, 15 pounds to 200 pounds, which is a misdemeanor, and 200 pounds or more, which is a felony.
Okay, don't get a lot of those.
No, we don't, Your Honor. I had to do the research on that, and after speaking with Ms. Jardina, we were able to get this resolved.
Okay,
It's going to be withhold of adjudication. He'll be placed on 6 months of probation. We're going to ask the court to waive the cost of supervision, standard court costs, PD fee, and then 48 hours of community service work.
okay,
And that is the state's agreement, Your Honor.
okay. So, Mr. Humphrey, would you raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So I just need to ask you a couple questions, make sure you understand, you're clear about what you're doing here. So you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and those terms are contained in the written plea agreement that I see you've signed. Just want to make sure, have you read this closely and gone over it in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Had all your legal questions answered?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you're waiving the right to go to a trial and to force the state to prove their case. Are you waiving all that so you can get a final resolution here today.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
And are you doing it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are we twisting your arm to do that? Okay. Very good. Based upon that, the court will accept your plea agreement, and this will be a plea withhold, no contest plea, but it'll be withhold of adjudication on the lesser included misdemeanor illegal dumping with the statute that's contained in the agreement for the clerk. There'll be a withhold of adjudication, and you're sentenced to 6 months probation, court costs, public defender fees, and as part of that condition of the probation, you've got 48 hours community service, and the court will waive cost of supervision. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you, good luck.
Good luck, Mr. Hawkins. Next I've got is Brandy Hurd. Your Honor, Ms. Hurd before the court in 2 cases, 24 CF 647 and 24 648. At this time, if the court would continue this case to August the 12th, I'm going to be scheduling depositions in her case.
Very good. State okay with that?
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
Without objection, the court will continue this matter till August 12th at 9 a.m.
Thank
Be
you.
in touch with the attorney in the end, okay?
Your Honor, next I've got is Andrew Jennings. Oh, Mr. Weinstock is.
Mr.
as I said,
Weinstock.
graced us with his presence. I'll step aside.
Mr. Weinstock. Hold on, let's see.
1 second, Your Honor.
Okay, it's all right, I need 1 second as well. Okay.
Third time at bat.
All right, you got your client? Where's your
My
client?
client is here, Your Honor. Justin Shane Brown, case number 2023 CF 2207. Your Honor, I have a signed plea. May I approach?
You may. Thank you. Would you please announce the agreement?
Yes. Mr. Brown is charged with uttering a forged instrument and petty theft. The terms of the plea agreement are as follows. Adjudication will be withheld. To be placed on 24 months of probation, we ask the court to allow him to transfer probation to Houston, Texas, where he lives. There'll be restitution, and the court reserves jurisdiction for restitution for 90 days. There's a court cost of $515, a PD fee of $150. I think that's wrong. I think the PD fee should be $300. Is that $150? $150. 24 hours of community service, no trespassing at Sammy's Gentleman Club. He has to maintain gainful employment or make 2 applications for jobs per week. He can have no firearms and no illegal drugs during supervision. I also asked, it's not on here, but when he was arrested, there was over $1,000 taken from him, and also his iPhone 13. We'd like the Sheriff's Department to return it to him. Those are the terms of the agreement, Your Honor.
Not normally something we cover in our plea agreement. What's the state's, I mean, is the state aware, I don't know what, I mean,
I'm not sure
certainly
what
if there's money that should be given back, but I don't know what the situation is. We don't do, I don't think I've ever dealt with it.
Your Honor, I'll have to look at that issue. If we can, Mr. Weinstock will file a motion and I'll look at it. I think I'll probably be able to release the property. I just can't give the court an answer on that right this exact minute. But the plea agreement as announced was the state's agreement.
Your Honor, Count 2 is a misdemeanor, so it can't happen for 24 months of probation.
You guys are pleading to miss, you mean on number 2, on count 2?
Yes.
Okay, there's a minor. Okay. You have to do a sentence for each count. Okay. So you've got one count, 24 months of probation, the other count is a misdemeanor, which is
Time
maxed
served,
at
Your Honor?
12 months. What's that?
Time served?
I don't know. So you guys are making the agreement. Or else have him run a concurrent for a year.
Concurrent probation.
Concurrent probation, Your Honor.
So while he's waiting, so the issue with regards to your personal items that were taken, your attorney has to file something. Generally speaking, if it's pretty straightforward, you know, there's an agreement, you get your stuff back. If for some reason the state says, oh, we don't know anything about this, then he's filed a motion, then you bring it to the court. Now the court will come into play, okay? It's not normally dealt with, you know, if anyway. So just deal with it, you can file a motion on
I also asked the court to withdraw the capias that was issued this morning.
it. Court will withdraw the capias. So, okay. Mr. Weinstock, you get, his second charge is only 12 months. It's not just, you put concurrent on the top, but it's not concurrent with each other. It's concurrent 12 months. He's got a misdemeanor. Can't have 24 months probation on a misdemeanor charge. Can only have 12. It's max. Here you go.
It's a second-degree misdemeanor, so the limit is 6 months.
It's actually 6 months.
Just put 6 months probation on
6 months probation, second-degree misdemeanor. Thankfully, the clerk's on top of all this. Keep us straight.
So 6 month probation on count 2.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. So, Mr. Brown, did I swear you in yet? Did you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Brown, you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement, and those terms are contained in the written plea agreement. A little bit,
Yes, sir.
a little bit of confusion, but I think we got it straightened out. I see that you've signed this written plea agreement, and just want to make sure you've gone over it in detail with your attorney. Make sure you had all your legal questions answered about it.
Yes,
Have you
sir.
done that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering into this agreement, you're waiving the right to go to a trial and to force the state to prove their case, all those things, so you can have a final resolution here today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's one thing I want to clarify, just so you're clear about this. The court does not, the court doesn't get involved with your transfer of probation. Okay, so that's, once you're sentenced to probation, now it's probation, the state's obligation to monitor, to supervise that. They have a very clear-cut procedure for how it's transferred. You can meet with them right after this, and shouldn't be a problem, but I'm not here saying, I don't make the rules on it, and I don't execute the rules. I just want you to be clear that, because the way your attorney stated, you know, that somehow the court would do something. The court doesn't have anything to do with the transfer.
Yes, sir.
But there is a certain procedure, and it is not uncommon to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you understand that? That's not a part of the plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
just want to do a reminder, and let Mr. Brown know.
This is probation who's speaking.
There is a $100 transfer fee.
Right.
In order to submit an application to transfer out of state, and that's due today if you're trying to go back to Texas.
If not, I have to keep coming.
If not, you're gonna have to stay in Florida, you can't leave until you have the ability to go back.
I couldn't, I have to stay in Florida till
Sir,
a week.
until you can pay that fee and we get approved reporting instructions from the other state.
So I can't go home until
if you can pay the $100 fee, we can get you that process
But if I
started,
can't
yes.
pay it, I
But if
can't.
you can't pay it, you're gonna have to remain in Florida if you're sentenced to probation.
Oh,
You want to talk to your attorney about that? Can you do that?
I could do it, but how I'm gonna pay it? I don't have my debit card.
Well,
Unless I can
if you
cash
don't
it.
have the money, then you can't do it. But here's what I'm suggesting, that if you need to talk to your attorney, if we need to put this plea agreement off for a week or something, then you gotta come back. You know, we're trying to accommodate you. I know you're out of town, but
Yes, sir.
I can't change the rules. I have to follow the rules same as you do.
Yes, sir, I understand. We can keep proceeding.
Okay. So, with that clarification about the transfer, so do you have any further questions regarding any of this?
No, sir.
Okay. And so based upon your testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement. There'll be a withhold of adjudication on both counts. And the court will, on count one, uttering of a forged instrument, the court will sentence you to 24 months probation. The court reserves on restitution. That means that they're not taking any action now, but the state might try and do that, and you can have you have the right to oppose it if they do. So they've got to file something, you'll have your attorney go over it with them. We've got the court costs and fees, community service hours, and I don't think you're gonna have any problem, no trespassing at Sammy's, because you're not gonna be around here. And hopefully they don't have any of those where you live, because they're generally, can get in trouble there.
Yes, sir.
Maintain gainful employment or 2 applications a week. Of course, no firearms or illegal drugs. Pretty straightforward, basically probation. Count 2 is 6 months probation, but they'll run concurrent. It'll run at the same time as your 24 months. So you got a total of 24 months probation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, so when you get through with this, check in with probation and try and work with them right away, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. Okay, you're good, thank you. Mr. Weinstein, your excuse, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't forget to leave the headphones. Mr. Gates.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to go back to James Hicks.
Hold on a second, let me get back on mine.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Hicks before the court in 23 CF 1327. If we can continue his case at the August 12th pretrial, I have deposition scheduled for July the 31st.
Okay. So you want to do a full cycle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. State?
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
Court will continue this matter until 8/12 at 9 a.m. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, next I've got is Andrew Jennings. Mr. Jennings is making his way up in 24 CF 610. If I could have a moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I approach? I have a plea agreement for Mr. Jennings.
Yeah.
I'm going to approach with a score sheet, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I do have a suspicion there may be something else going on, so I don't know.
You were correct.
It sounds like there's, well, I'll say there's a warrant for his arrest. don't know what effect that's gonna have on the plea agreement, so.
You want to look at it?
Yes.
Your Honor, I spoke with the state, the state's not gonna revoke the offer in this case. It appears that this is a misdemeanor battery.
So you want to proceed with the plea
As long as
agreement?
Mr. Jennings, you're good with the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You may announce the agreement.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jennings will be entering a plea no contest as charged. It's gonna be withhold of adjudication based on 24 months of probation. We're gonna waive the cost of supervision, $615 court costs, $150 public defender fee, required to do a substance abuse evaluation. I had scratched out within 30 days of his release, but I think that's applicable now at this point. Any recommended treatment within 60 days, random urinalysis, 24 hours of community service work, maintain gainful employment, or complete 3 job applications per week.
And that is the state's agreement, Your Honor.
Very good. Mr. Jennings, would you? Would you please raise your right hand, sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Jennings, you heard your attorney state the terms of the plea agreement. It's pretty straightforward. 24 months probation with some other things that are contained within it. I see that you have signed the written plea agreement, which contains those same terms. Have you gone over this? You can put your hand down. Have you gone over this in detail with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Had answered any questions you have about the legal impact and how it affects you, et cetera?
Yes, sir.
You believe this is in your best interest to do this?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're waiving the right to go to a trial and some other valuable legal rights in order to get a final resolution. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, sir.
Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement. There'll be a withhold of adjudication on the single count, and the defendant will be sentenced to 24 months probation. Court will waive the cost of supervision, standard court cost of $615, public defender fee of $150. You must complete a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days of your release if you're incarcerated, or 30 days from today if you're not. And any recommended treatment, you have to begin within 60 days of release. Kind of your standard UAs, 24 hours of community service work, maintain gainful employment. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
And if Mr. Jennings can have 24 hours from his release to report to probation?
Yes.
Next I've got is Heather Johnson. This is Ms. Johnson before the court in 23 CF 2801. At this time, Your Honor, if we can continue Ms. Jennings' case to the August 12th pretrial, I need Ms. Johnson. If I can continue Ms. Johnson's case to August the 12th, we're going to reschedule depositions.
Very good, State.
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
Court will continue this matter till 8/12, August 12th at 9 a.m.
And the last one I've got is President, Your Honor, that I know is Larry Jordan. This is Mr. Jordan making his way up in 23 CF 2407. Your Honor, at this time, we're going to ask the court to continue Mr. Jordan's case to the August 12th pretrial date. I'll be scheduling depositions in this case.
Okay? It's a relatively new case. State, okay with that continuance?
Yes, Your Honor, the state has no objection.
Court Court will continue this matter until August 12th at 9 a.m. Stay in touch
Thank you, sir.
with your attorney in the meantime. Mr. Medina, or Ms. Farkas?
Ms. Farkas has one plea, and then I'm gonna go, I think.
Very good.
I have Mr. Fillin-Gane, Matthew. He is present and approaching.
What's the name again? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Fillin-Gane, Fillingane. The docket is 2024 CF 680.
My docket's different. Got it. Thank you.
No problem. The state and the defense have reached an agreement, if I may approach with it.
Okay. Thank you. Would you announce the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. There's one charge here, count one. Was charged as a third-degree felony carrying a concealed weapon, a firearm. The offer that the state has made, that my client will be accepting, is a withhold of adjudication to the lesser included offense of the misdemeanor carrying a concealed weapon, 6 months JCS misdemeanor probation, $270 in court costs, $150 public defender fee, and complete the firearm safety course.
What is the statutory cite to the lesser included charge?
What's the charge?
For carrying a concealed weapon.
It's the misdemeanor. That has to be included in the agreement.
I
The
apologize.
clerk has to have that.
I have the statutory reference.
Ms. Farkas, the state.
790.01, paren 2, subsection
Okay. Would you say it again for the clerk?
2. 790.01, subsection 2.
I apologize.
That's all right.
First degree misdemeanor.
Mr. Fillin-Gane, would you please raise your right hand? Sir? Do you swear or affirm the information you're about to provide this court is the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
So you heard your attorney state the terms of your plea agreement, and I see those terms are contained in the written plea agreement that you've signed. Okay. Short last name. So, it only has one letter on it, that's what I'm saying, Ms. Farkas. Okay, so, just want to make sure you've signed this. Have you read this plea agreement closely?
Yes, sir.
Gone over it in detail with your attorney, make sure you understand the legal nuances of this, the ins and outs of this plea agreement.
Yes, sir.
Importantly, you're waiving the right to go to a trial and force the state to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. This will be a final adjudication of the case based on this agreement. Is that what you want to do here today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based upon that testimony, the court will accept your plea agreement and to the lesser included misdemeanor carrying of a concealed weapon with the statutory cite that was provided earlier. There'll be a withhold of adjudication, and you'll be sentenced to 6 months misdemeanor probation on to be supervised by JCS with standard court costs, public defender fees, and you must complete a firearm safety course as a part of the probation. Any questions?
No, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
You
Do
need
you
to check
have a
in
card
with
for
probation right away.
GCS? He'll give you the card, so we're checking with that right now.
Because we want to continue. Rich Norman. Your Honor, I have just a few continuances.
Okay.
Tommy R. Allen Jr. Mr. Allen is 247 on the docket before the court in 23 CF 343.
Okay, got it?
Your Honor, this is first time up on a PTI recall. We had court appearances prior to the PTI recall. He's very likely going to work out a plea agreement similar to what the state was offering prior to taking PTI, but he wants to meet with me and consider his options. I'm asking for an August continuance.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, the court will continue this matter until 8/12 and 9 a.m. Just make sure, get together with your attorney in the interim, okay?
You want
so
my
you can
card
figure out-
again? Okay, I'm just giving him a copy of my card, Your Honor.
Sure.
And just for the record, I advised him, the state had advised me that it was not willing to do an extension on his PTI. Is that correct, Ms. Sharp?
That's correct.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, next is William H. Bentley. Mr. Bentley is approaching. His case is, I'm looking on the docket. It's 253, Your Honor.
Okay.
William H. Bentley, 24 CF 159. I'm asking for a continuance. He's going to be setting an appointment with me, and if we can continue into August, I would anticipate it'll be the last continuance. My information that I have is that the alleged victim might be incarcerated. That may complicate my ability to depose her, but we'll be looking into that and trying to get everything wrapped up this next cycle.
This is a new case, so we'll continue it until 8/12, August 12th at 9 a.m. Stay in touch with your
You
attorney.
my card?
okay?
You good? All right, man, thank you. Next is Shannon L. Alman. Ms. Alman is approaching 248 on the docket. Allmon. Shannon?
Got it? Thank you.
She's before the court in 23 CF 2805. When she was before the court, I think it was April 15 was the last court appearance, if I'm not mistaken. It was continued to today. We have the state's best offer, and she has told me today that she's trying to get an interview or meeting with a private lawyer. I was basically in a position where I've done what I need to do, but if the court wants to, based on her representation, continue it, one cycle for her to get a private lawyer or some other date, it's the discretion of the court, of course, whether to do that. And also there's an issue of would the state keep her offer open. It was an offer to basically plead counts 1 and 3 as charged, 1 and 3 was a possession of controlled substance, and then 3 was a paraphernalia, and then one of the possession of controlled substance would be knocked down to a misdemeanor. So it would be adjudication of guilt on 1 felony instead of 2, 24 months probation, etc. So will the state keep it open if the court allows it to be continued? Yes, she advises also, Judge, that she had an appointment set with a private lawyer, but because of a death in the family, it had to be rescheduled. So.
Your Honor, the state will keep the offer open until the next pretrial of 8/12. After that, it'll be revoked.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll continue this. So what we're doing today is we're continuing until 8/12. So no matter what you do with your attorney, you got to be back here 8/12 at 9 a.m. But if you get another attorney, you can substitute. They'll know what to do. But if you don't get another attorney, you need to be communicating with Mr. Medina and figure out what you're doing on this case. Because if not, it's going to be set for a trial. Okay?
So, yes, and I cannot represent as an officer of the court that there's anything further that I need to do to be ready for trials.
Well, I
Right,
understand.
so she knows that it's good. Okay,
Oh,
Thank you so much.
great. Thank you.
thank you. I think my last out of custody, it's in the present, is Jeremy W. Dixon. This is one of Ms. Basso's cases that I think is being handled by Ms. Sharpless today. Your Honor, I think this was, I think it was announced last time. Does the court see it as a 266 on the docket?
No, my numbers are
I'm
like
sorry,
25
Judge.
off. That's all right.
Jeremy Wayne Dixon.
I've got it. 22 CF 2061.
Yes, Judge, and I was anticipating this was last time up. There was one issue I was looking into with respect to an individual who I had tried to depose, who we were not able to effect service on before. I did, we did a sworn interview of one of the other witnesses, find out where that person lived. I did make efforts to have a phone interview with that person, was not successful, but I do not deem it being necessary to trial preparation to take that deposition. However, Mr. Dixon is advising me today that he does not wish to take the state's deal, which was a non-incarcerative offer, and he wants to get a private lawyer. So even though I was assuming this was possibly going to be a clear trial today, it's one where he does advise he's going to get a private lawyer. I certainly can't make promises to people as to the outcome of a jury trial, so he's accepting that risk if he takes it to jury trial, and I'm not going to make promises to the contrary. And so if the court wishes or is willing to entertain a one last continuance, if he's going to get a private lawyer, they need to enter an appearance soon. Does the state have any position?
Any objection?
Your Honor, seeing as how he is saying he's gonna get another lawyer, Ms. Basso wouldn't mind if this was listed on docket day, plea or continue, and then if we can find out if he's actually gonna,
Okay, so it would
I
be,
don't know that he's gonna know by next week. Can't even get you can't get an appointment in a week half the time.
he has transportation issues. His mother drove him. He has phone issues, employment issues.
So
and
is the
so
state
forth.
ready to go to trial today? Were you announcing ready for trial?
Your Honor, Ms. Basso was asking this to be, in candor to the court, the note I got was leave it on docket day, plea or continue. He was supposed to plea last time, and she hasn't heard whether he was gonna do that or not. So if we wanted to leave it plea or continue, we could.
What's the defendant's maximum exposure on this case?
Your Honor, the charges are two third-degree felonies. Of course, he's maintaining his innocence, but the lowest permissible prison sentence, unless the court were to do a downward departure, would be 24.45 months DOC. The state's offer was 5 years standard probation followed by, on one count one, followed by 5 years standard probation on count two. He's indicated to me a willingness to do probation. Basically the ask with the state for a long time had been no prison and no sex offender, pleading out in a way it wouldn't be a sex offender. The state said yes to the no prison, but did not say yes on the sex offender issue to recasting the charges. And so that's where we are, and the sex offender issue is something of great concern to him because he thinks his life will be in such peril that he'll end up in prison. And like I said, he is adamant about his innocence, and I certainly respect his right to maintain his innocence. And look, if it's my case, I'm gonna do everything I can to represent him well at the trial, but we never know the outcome.
Your Honor, to answer the court's question, the defendant's maximum exposure is 10 years in prison if both of these charges were run concurrently and he received the maximum sentence.
And the minimum guidelines is 24.
I believe it was the 24 months, Mr.
24.45.
Okay, so Mr. Dixon, is that what you want to do? You want to try and find yourself another attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you taken some steps to do that? In other words, if we have a full cycle continuance, it's 2 months, so we'll come back 2 months from now in August. What I don't want is to roll up, you say, well, I haven't gotten an attorney, or I just got one last week and I haven't talked with him or her, and now I need another 2 months. And the state's ready to go. And this case is going on 2 years old, which is a long time. I'm sure you are. So my point is, so have you made some progress toward, I'm not asking you what,
Yes, sir.
Have you been communicating with some attorneys? Have you made an appointment with anybody?
I have not made an appointment, but I've been gathering up money to hire an attorney.
Okay, so are you ready to go to hire them now, or you still gotta round up some more money?
I need to use another month to,
Okay, so which means you're gonna get an attorney just as we roll into August 12th.
I'll try not to.
Well, I mean, what you're telling me is that's what you're telling me. I'm just being honest with you. If you can't wait for another month to gather up some more money, then make an appointment. We're gonna roll into August 12th. You're gonna have, if you have an attorney, you'll have just gotten him or her. And they're gonna be asking for a continuance. So, anyway, we're running out of time, so when you're talking to your new attorney or attorney, you tell them the state's ready to go, been discovery, and the judge is saying, I'm not saying absolutely we're gonna force it down your throat that you gotta go to trial next cycle, but we're also gonna be kind of saying we gotta go. Okay? You have a right to have a trial, and you have a right to have an attorney if you wanna hire one.
Your Honor, I would ask the state to please leave the offer open until next pretrial so that
They
it
said,
gets a new
didn't they say
lawyer.
they would, I think?
I think, did you say that?
Yeah. Didn't you say it would be open till the next pretrial?
Oh, I didn't, but,
You did not, oh, that was the other one, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I can't, well,
I think the Ms. Bosso's position was bring back on docket day for plea or continue,
That's
so.
correct.
He's not gonna have a chance to talk to an attorney.
I just think it would be better to the process if he is getting a new lawyer, that they have the opportunity to advise him of his options with full options available. Yes,
I agree with you.
thank you.
That's why I just wanted to confirm that they'll leave it open.
Your Honor, right now, I can only tell him that it would be open till docket day because I do not have a note from Ms. Basso past docket day. But I can certainly, if given.
Okay,
a
so
few
we'll come
more
back on
days.
docket day and you can talk to Ms. Basso.
Yes, sir.
Docket day next week, 6/17 at 9 a.m.
You understand, sir?
Yes. Thank you.
See you next Monday. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sharpless. Those are my out of custody who were in the courtroom, Your Honor. Thank you.
Very good. Okay. Who wants to go? You got three, you know,
You could just
flip a
run the
coin?
docket. You could just run the docket, Your Honor, if you'd like, just go in order. We're fine with that.
Did you see that? Just, we'll just go in order, knowing that she's at the top of the list.
It's not, Your Honor.
Yeah, you are. You have all yours are first.
Really?
Yeah. That's all right. We understand. I think that's a very good suggestion.
I'm looking out for number one, Judge.
Okay.
Okay. Just joking, Ms. Farkas.
Your Honor, first I have Eric Carrillo, 2023 CF 2051. I filed a waiver for Mr. Carrillo. We have depositions set, or they were set, I'm sorry, for April 26th. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm misreading my notes here. They are set. And I'm also speaking with the state attorney about this one, hoping to reach some sort of agreement. I don't know if you want to put this on for docket day.
Your
We don't
Honor,
need to, but
Your Honor, we don't have to, but it might actually let you end up in a resolution. Ms. Farkas gave me some information that would be dispositive of the most serious charge. And I do need to speak further with the victim about that, Your Honor, but if I can speak to the victim and let him know.
Well, if
what's
there's
going-
some possibility of a resolution next week, then let's try it. You know,
Yes, sir.
It's not gonna be the end of the world. We can continue it if it's not able to be resolved.
thank
Yes,
So
you.
we'll continue it to a docket day for a plea or continue, without subpoenas.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Next up, I have Chadwick Carter, 2023 CF 1270. In this case, I filed a notice of intent to rely on a, not guilty by reason of insanity, back in March, and I believe that the state attorney was hoping to have my client evaluated by a different doctor. I don't know if they filed that. We were in discussions about that.
I did file it. I don't think your order has filed an order. I filed
Is there
the
an order, I'm just waiting for my signature?
I believe so, Your
Unless
Honor.
it came, unless it dropped into my box late Friday, I signed all my orders.
Let me
So it
check.
may have been signed since either of us checked.
It might have been. I just want to make sure if there's something I need to do that it needs, it gets done. I don't wanna
Either
be-
way, I
I don't want
think
to be
then-
the holdup.
Appreciate that.
I did send an order, the motion and proposed order to Your Honor's judicial assistant on Thursday morning. Again, I don't know if
It may not have been
follow-
processed, but it says, I don't know if it's been.
I can follow up and make sure that she was able to see
Yeah,
that.
because if not, if I will, I'll get it signed.
And
So,
Your
Either
Honor,
way,
did-
August
so
12th.
we'll, you want to do a full cycle continuance?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll continue to 8/12, but please follow up on that and make sure that it's being signed by the court.
Yes.
Next is Chalfont, did I pronounce that right? Chalfont?
Yes, Chalfont Barfield. I've actually already met with Ms. Chalfont Barfield. We just received some of the discovery. I need to go over it with her. This is the first pretrial conference up, if we could have a full cycle continuance.
Very good. Court will continue this until 8/12 at 9 a.m.
Next, I have Dusato Chase, 2024 CF 307. Mr. Chase wasn't able to reach out to my office until late last week. So if I could have one last continuance to discuss the offer with him and review the FDLE that we received.
Do we need a full cycle or this? If you're just discussing an offer.
I would like a full cycle, I'm not
Okay.
sure I would have time to meet with him the rest of
I
this
know you've
week.
probably got a lot of things going on.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll continue to 8/12.
But I'm confident that we will resolve it soon.
Okay, so I'm gonna indicate the last continuance and
That's fine.
the clerk make a note of it. Tristan Clark,
Your Honor, the state attorney and I, we've
just
worked.
23 CF.
Oh, I'm so sorry, yes.
2652. Go ahead.
Yes, apologies. We've worked out a pretrial intervention agreement. If we could just put it on for Monday, we worked that out late last week, and so I let my
Okay.
client know.
Very good. We'll come back 6/17 for a plea,
Perfect, thank you.
which is the pretrial or PTI. Did you say it was a pretrial intervention?
It will be, yes.
Okay. Danielle Klein,
Yes, 2023 CF 1993. The state has offered a pretrial intervention agreement in this case as well. It includes some restitution that we're still working out, so if we could have a last full cycle continuance just to work out that amount.
state.
Yes, Your Honor, that is what we discussed, and I do believe that it is necessary for us to nail down that restitution before we sign the PTI.
Okay. And we can resolve, but just understand that if necessary, you could still enter an agreement and argue over the, when I
I
say
understand,
argue, I
yes.
mean in a legal sense.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Don't let
Not
that
frivolously, but yeah.
sabotage the entire plea agreement.
Yes,
Just because
I-
you can't come to a, I know you want to, but,
I understand what Your Honor is saying.
It's not a massive difference, just wanted to discuss it with
Okay.
my client, so. Next is Justin
so
Collados.
that means you're
Yes, sir.
guaranteeing that it'll get resolved by next week.
Yes,
Okay,
I am.
good.
Justin Collado, 2023 CF 2198. Spoke with the state attorney about this case, and I think that we're nearing an agreement that would also include restitution.
Mhm.
I don't know if you want to set like a last continuance at the next pretrial conference. If that's okay with the state, that would be fine with us.
State?
I'm sorry, I'm looking for the, I think I'm in the wrong part of the docket, Your Honor. Your Honor, that last continuance would be fine with the state.
Full cycle?
That's fine, Your Honor.
And we'll announce that last, although we announced it last time, this one is just being resolved, this being continued so you can get your paperwork together.
Next, I have Jeffrey Collins, 2023 CF 1457.
What about Gavin Collier?
Oh, sorry, my files are out. Gavin Collier, 2023 CF 2579. He's also been offered a pretrial intervention agreement, but I haven't had a chance to review it with him yet. If we could have a full cycle continuance, we can set that as the last one. I do believe that we'll be able to reach a resolution.
Very good. We'll continue until 8/12, and we'll indicate this will be the last continuance. Jeffrey Collins.
2023 CF 1457. The state attorney and I were discussing one of the, well, I guess it's not the alleged victim, but the reporting person in this case did not appear for a deposition in April, so we are trying to reach a resolution here. I don't know if you'd like a full cycle continuance.
Do you think we can get it done on Monday?
Probably.
Your Honor, if Ms. Farkas thinks
Yes.
that she can speak with her client about this before Monday,
Yes,
I think we can get this one done.
Okay.
There was an agreement she proposed that I told her I would accept, so I just don't know if she's.
Yeah, I just need to discuss the restitution with my client.
Okay, we'll continue this till docket day 6/17 for a plea.
Thank you.
Jace Conway.
2023 CF 2427. Mr. Conway lives in Alabama and was supposed to drive here, but called my office frantically. He had car troubles. So he's ready to accept a PTI. I have the paperwork and everything. If we could have the full cycle continuance, he's a single father with 2 kids, so he needs time to make sure he can get here.
Court
But it will be
continue
resolved.
this matter until 8/12, and it'll be the last continuance.
He also has a warrant.
Can I have that paperwork? Thank you. Can I keep this? Thank you.
I can't serve it.
Oh,
Can
Good call.
Can Jessica see that?
yeah.
May I see that?
What's the charges? Didn't know if it might be adjustment.
Let's just leave this open another full cycle, so this could be figured out and she'll get
Yeah.
everything done.
Okay. So we put it on for the 12th anyways.
That's fine.
So we'll come back on August 12th, and you guys can figure out if how they might interact with one another.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next is Jordan Couch.
Your Honor, Jordan Couch, 2023 CF 2687. Mr. Couch was arrested. He has it looks as though he has a felony in Santa Rosa County, and I believe Ms. Giardina filed a motion to revoke bond in this case. I have not spoken with Mr. Couch as such, so I don't know if we should just continue it and leave it on the docket.
Well, it's a relatively new case, so we'll continue until 8/12. If he's revoked bond, has he been picked up?
I could check on that, Your Honor.
Well, if he is,
It's either that or he's in Santa Rosa County. I'm not sure.
it'll allow you to be in contact with him.
I appreciate that.
So we'll continue until 8/12 for
Thank
Jordan Couch. Micah Cox.
Yes, Your Honor. Micah Cox, 2024 CF 842. All these people I've filed a waiver for. I let the state know there appears to be an issue with the body worn camera in this case. There's no sound on it. So we need to discuss that, if we could have a full cycle continuance. And then also I'll, go over the offer with my client and everything.
Okay, continue that until 8/12. Nicholas Kramer.
CF 80, Nicholas Kramer. It's my understanding that the state is planning to send a final notice to the alleged victim in this case. If the state would be okay putting this on docket day on Monday? Or maybe that's, I don't know if that's enough time to file or to send a letter.
Well, Your Honor, if we can leave it on docket day now, we'll attempt to call, and then if I can't get a hold of him, I am going to send a drop dead letter, meaning that he'll get a letter that says if he doesn't contact me, the case is in jeopardy of being dismissed. He usually answers the phone call, so I will attempt to call him before docket day.
So you think it'd be fruitful to do something for docket day, or?
I think so, Your Honor, because he's never not answered my phone calls before, and I know the victim advocate is trying to reach out to him, so if we can leave it on docket day, I can have a report by docket day.
Okay, so we'll come back on 6/17 for a plea or continue.
Next, Your Honor, I believe is Drew Crowfoot, 2024 CF 567. This is a case that I spoke with your JA about. He lives in Michigan. He's a college student there and is submitting a written plea agreement in absentia, if that's acceptable. I've gone over with him in great detail. So if I could approach. Sorry, it's kind of small.
And so this is a misdemeanor plea agreement,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay?
There are 2 counts here in 2024
You
CF.
don't have to go over them.
Oh, okay, we're good.
It's a misdemeanor, it's a written
Yes.
plea agreement, it's signed, and state's gone over and they've signed it, everybody's good. You don't
Okay.
have to,
Great.
thank you.
I forgot that he wasn't gonna enter a plea here.
Yeah, it's all right. Next is Deidre Crowley.
2024 CF 314, Deidre Crowley. I've spoken with Ms. Crowley about this case. The alleged victim was just rearrested. I was hoping to depose him, so I need to schedule a deposition at the jail with the state attorney. If we could have a full cycle continuance.
State?
Your Honor, that was my idea of the case, and that's what we had spoken about, so yes,
We
I
might
did
be able
put-
to resolve it
We'll
without a
continue until
deposition, but
8/12. At least you know where he's at.
yes.
Armand Colbreth.
Armand Culbreth, 2023 CF 1247. This is a case with Christine Basso, who is that Tiff? Are you Christine to this? We did a deposition of the detective in this case at the end of April. I received an updated offer from Ms. Basso last week. My client was here earlier. I waived his appearance so that we'd have time to discuss it. I know the case is, well, I guess it's not that old. If we could have a full cycle continuance, these are pretty serious charges, and I need time to discuss the offer with my client.
State,
Your Honor, Ms. Basso was okay with one last continuance.
very good. Continue until 8/12, and we'll indicate it'll be the last continuance.
Thank you. Next is Tanner Dalton, 2024 CF 637. This is the first pretrial conference date. I've actually already met with the client, but I need him to come in and review the body-worn camera. We could continue it for the next pretrial conference.
It's a relatively new case. We'll continue until 8/12. Joshua Davis.
I'm sorry?
Joshua Davis.
Oh, yes, Joshua, okay. Next, I have Joshua Davis, 2023 CF 2710. I have not had a chance to meet with Mr. Davis yet, unfortunately. If we could have another continuance. I have an offer, I have the discovery. Just have not been able to be in contact with Mr. Davis. Enough to come in and meet about the case.
Are you communicating at all?
Yes, I did, but he hasn't been able to come in to review the discovery, and so I can't advise him to take a plea.
Tell him the court will not necessarily grant another continuance after the 12th, so he needs to
Yes,
get in
Your
and
Honor.
see you and figure out what you're gonna do with this case.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Billy Devers. No, that's not. James Devers.
I do actually have two Deverses.
One
So the-
is incarcerated. That's been moved to Wednesday.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
So the
this
one we have that he's not incarcerated is James D. Devers,
Yes,
24 CF 752.
yes, Your Honor.
What do you-
I spoke with the state attorney last week and got an updated offer in this case. My client is almost certainly going to accept it. If we could continue it to August, that can be the last continuance. But given that we were just able to talk about it last week, he needs
Okay,
time to,
we'll continue until 8/12 at 9 a.m. That'll be the last continuance.
thank you.
Gabriel Del Toro.
Gabriel Del Toro, 2023 CF 1424. We conducted a deposition of Mr. Del Toro on May 14th. And we also received the psych eval back just on June 6th. I don't know if the state would be okay with putting this on docket day. The defense would be fine with that.
Your Honor, the state's okay with leaving this on docket day.
What are we gonna do on docket day? Possible plea.
Possibly, Your Honor.
Yes, that's the hope.
Continue this till docket day, 6/17 at 9 a.m. Plea or continue. Next is Tiffany Dewsbury.
Tiffany Dewsbury, 2024 CF 504. I apologize. I received discovery just on 5/29, so I haven't reviewed it yet with my client. If we could have a full cycle continuance, so I may do so.
State,
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
court will continue this till 8/12. Christopher Dixon.
Christopher Dixon, 2023 CF 2224. I believe the state has an announcement in this case. That's what your email said. Christopher Dixon.
Sorry, Your Honor, if I can get to the right page on the docket. Your Honor, give me just a second. Your Honor, the state will be entering a null pros of this case.
Very good. Court will note, null pros, 23 CF 2224. Kirby Dixon.
Kirby Dixon, 2023 CF 816. I waived Mr. Dixon's appearance. The FDLE testing came back and was positive only for methamphetamine. The state informed me that they may be resending whatever was found to retest, as he's charged with trafficking in fentanyl as well. So I believe we need
Is he charged with fentanyl?
He is, Your Honor.
He is.
What charge is
The
fentanyl?
second count is trafficking in fentanyl 4 grams or more, less than 14 grams.
Okay, mine doesn't say that on here, but
And Your Honor,
Just says drugs, traffic, over 4 grams.
so what I'm waiting on is permission from FDLE for them to test multiple substances. So if we can, I will have an update for the court, hopefully soon, if we want to leave it on docket day and get a status update. If not, I'd be okay with a full cycle continuance and it being one last continuance.
That's fine with us as well.
Okay, let's continue until 8/12.
You also have an order we're looking on for pretrial services, failure to comply.
What was the date on that?
23rd of May.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Next, I believe, is Joseph Dobson. Is that right?
Correct.
Just want to make sure my alphabet is correct over here. 2024 CF 363. I have the offer from the state attorney. My client came into the office last week with information that might be dispositive of the case. So if we could have a full cycle continuance, so I can share that with the state attorney and negotiate.
Sure. Court will continue till 8/12. Jerial drones.
Apologies, Your Honor, that file got left on my desk. I met with Mr. Drones. We had a phone meeting last week. If we could have a full cycle continuance, so he could come in and review the discovery, and we can, I believe that we need to potentially schedule depositions in that case.
No objection.
Continue until 8/12. Cheyenne Dumas.
2024
How do you
CF,
pronounce that first name?
Cheyenne is
Cheyenne.
correct, yes. 2024 CF 331, I believe the state attorney has an announcement in this case.
Your Honor, the state is announcing a null pros in this case.
Court will acknowledge the null pros. Thank you. June Duncan.
June Duncan, 2023 CF 958. We conducted depositions in this case, and last week the state attorney and I were discussing a potential pretrial intervention agreement with restitution. We need to go over the amount of restitution and make sure that we're on the same page. If we could have a full cycle continuance, my client doesn't live in the area, and I don't want to, just in case she's not able to get back on Monday.
State.
Your Honor, I'd be okay with one last continuance in this case, Your Honor.
We can mark it as last. We will resolve it at the
Very
next
good.
date.
We did mark it as last.
Oh, I
It's
apologize.
just FYI. So we'll continue to 8/12,
Thank you.
last continuance, the real last continuance.
It's circled.
Spencer Effett.
Effet, yes, 2023 CF 2145. Unfortunately, Mr. Effet and I had a meeting that did not go forward. If we could have a last continuance, so that he and I can meet and discuss it.
It's a pretty straightforward possession.
It is, Your Honor. And I'm very
State.
confident that we'll resolve it.
Your Honor, is there a waiver file for?
I did, I filed
Okay.
one today. He came into court this morning and we briefly discussed it, but
Yeah, Your Honor, there's, the state doesn't impose a continuance.
I impressed upon him the importance of meeting with me, so.
Very good. Mr. Egbers, William Egbers.
2024 CF 871. This is the first pretrial conference date. I've already had a couple meetings with Mr. Egbers, and I'm discussing the case with the state attorney. If we could have a full cycle continuance, this is a pretty new case.
We'll continue this matter 8/12.
Next is Ivan Araguen, 2023 CF 1398. Mr. Araguen is out of custody and came to court this morning, so I'm finally in contact with him, which is really great. He's aware of the offer, wanted a couple days to think about it. If we could put this on for docket day, I think that we'll resolve it then.
Very good, we'll come back, docket day 6/17 at 9 a.m. Do you have Charles Emerson? That's one I had.
Yes, I have Charles Emerson. He's under a couple names. I'm not sure if we've sorted that out, but I do have him as well. Mr. Emerson is in a treatment program in Biloxi, so I believe I filed a waiver. I definitely filed a waiver for him.
Okay.
But he's been in regular contact with my office.
This is a relatively new case?
Yes.
Assume we want to continue the full cycle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Continue to 8/12. Brooke Etier.
Brooke Etier, 2023 CF 1577. Ms. Etier was in the Santa Rosa County Jail at the last pretrial conference. She's out and came to court this morning. She didn't have my contact information because she'd been in custody in Santa Rosa. So if we could have a full cycle continuance so I can meet with her, I'm confident we can resolve it in August.
No objection, Your Honor.
We'll continue it till 8/12 at 9.
Thank you.
Aaron Fain.
Aaron Fain, 2024 CF 707 and 2024 CF 690. I spoke with ASA Losco about this case last week. There was an issue with the discovery. For some reason, it was never uploaded to our office. We put in our demand April 26th. As soon as I let Mr. Losco know about that, he re-uploaded it. So we got all of the discovery June 6th and the offer June 10th. So if we could have a full cycle, that was definitely not an issue with the state attorney's office. I think it just happens.
We'll continue until 8/12.
Thank you.
Eleonora Falduto.
Yes, Eleonora Falduto, 2023 CF 2849. I waived Ms. Falduto's appearance. She is in critical health condition. I've been in contact with her son. So the state attorney and I are discussing how to resolve it. I'm not sure if she will ever be in good enough health to be able to come. And so I need to provide the proof of that to the state attorney. So if we could put it on for the next pretrial conference.
State,
The state has no objection to that, Your Honor.
court will continue until 8/12.
I think Stephen Fickert is next. I think.
Sorry, yeah, Fickert, Stephen
Yes.
Fickert.
2023 CF 2246. I believe the state has an announcement in this case.
Your Honor, the state filed a null pros earlier today.
Very good. Court will note the null process. Gabrielle Flanagan.
Gabrielle Flanagan, 2023 CF 1513 and 2023 CF 2122. Your Honor, we filed a motion in order for a comp evaluation by Dr. Zeman. He's very backed up. We've been in communication, and I'm in regular communication with Ms. Flanagan and her parents. We really would like that evaluation to be able to resolve the case. As soon as we get that, I think that we'll be able to figure something out. So if we could have one last pretrial conference,
We'll
presuming
continue
we get the
until 8/12.
report.
Christopher Fleming.
Christopher Fleming, 2023 CF 125. There are depositions scheduled in this case July 19th. There were a couple officers that apparently slipped through the cracks with the first discovery. It happens. And so we scheduled the depositions. I did also get a new offer from the state in this case last week. If we could have the continuance until August, I think the depositions or the new offer, we will resolve it one way or the other. August 12th.
We'll continue it until August 12th. It'll be the last continuance.
Lisa Funk, 2024 CF 129. I've met with Ms. Funk and I'm waiting on medical records from her that I think will be really crucial in determination of the outcome if we could have a full cycle continuance.
State,
Your Honor, the state's fine with that if we could just ask for a last continuance.
That's fine.
is that okay?
Yes, Your Honor, that's fine.
Last continuance till August 8th, August 12th. Cherie Sorrells.
Cherie Sorrells, 2023 CF 1404 and 2022 CF 3035. I unfortunately haven't had any contact with Ms. Sorrells.
Your Honor, the state is asking for a KPS for Ms. Sorrells.
I don't have any information to add, Your Honor.
Correlation, no bond KPS. Alexis Sparks.
Alexis Sparks, 2024 CF 482. I've already met with Ms. Sparks and discussed the case. If we could have a full cycle continuance, it's a fairly new case. And I think there's some complicated interpersonal issues that I need to make the state aware of with this case.
So you could full cycle till August 12th.
Yes, please, Your Honor.
Very good.
Thank you.
Stone Walters.
That is the incorrect name of Charles Emerson.
That's accurate, Your Honor. It needs to be changed, and I do believe I'm sorry, it should be stating, I do believe that he swore to his legal name under oath.
He did.
So
Okay.
I'll find out what I need to do to make sure those two things get corrected.
Okay.
So it's the same person, so a continuance to 8/12, as he's in a treatment program in Biloxi.
Okay. Continue until 8/12. Okay. I think that's all I've got for you, Ms.
That's all I have as well.
Farkas. Could we take a short break here? You guys are just coming on board here. Some of us have been hard at it all day. Worn out. You got nowhere else to be.
All rise.
Okay. Thank you.
You, Ron.